Pick 1. John Wall. John Wall was drafted first overall by the Washington Wizards after an iconic one-and-done season at Kentucky. Touted as one of the best point guard prospects of all time, Wall's speed was elite, even for NBA standards, and was his calling card throughout his time in the league. He won Rookie of the Year after averaging 16.4 points and 8.3 assists per game. Wall would make his first All-Star game in 2013 to 2014, after averaging 19.3 points and 8.8 assists. Wall also competed in and won the 2014 NBA Slam Dunk Contest during All-Star Weekend. His best season came in 2016 to 2017, when he averaged 23.1 points, 2 steals, and was second in the league in assists per game with 10.7. Wall scored a career-high 52 points against the Charlotte Hornets on December 6, 2016, and recorded 20 assists against the Chicago Bulls on March 17, 2017. Wall was named All-NBA Third Team, finished 7th in MVP voting, and led the Wizards to the Eastern Conference semifinals against the Boston Celtics. In Game 6, Wall hit a game-winning three-pointer to force a Game 7, where they would eventually bow out. Wall would sign a 4-year $170 million contract that offseason, and he and Bradley Beal were expected to form one of the best guard duos for the foreseeable future. However, injuries began to take their toll on Wall, as he would only play in 41 and 32 games the ensuing 2 seasons before missing all of 2019 to 2020 after tearing his Achilles at his house. In December 2020, Wall was traded to the Houston Rockets alongside a lottery-protected first-round pick for Russell Westbrook. Wall would return in 2020 to 2021 with the Rockets, appearing in 40 games and averaging 20.6 points and 6.9 assists, but was clearly a shell of his former self, as injuries robbed him of his once elite speed. After his one season with the Rockets, Wall spent the next year unsigned and out of the NBA. Many fans thought his time was done, but he returned in 2023 with the Los Angeles Clippers, appearing in 34 games. He was traded back to the Rockets mid-season, and subsequently waived. That would be the last time we see John Wall in the NBA. In August 2025, Wall would announce his retirement from the game of basketball, and subsequently joined Amazon Prime Video's NBA broadcasting team. Wall finished his career as a 5-time All-Star, was named third-team All-NBA and second-team All-Defense one time each, and is the Wizards' all-time leader in assists and steals. Pick 2. Evan Turner. Evan Turner was drafted second overall by the Philadelphia 76ers after a stellar 3-year career at Ohio State. Turner largely came off the bench in his first 2 years before starting all 82 games in his third season. He began to break out in the first half of the 2013 to 2014 season, his fourth in the league. He was averaging a career-high 17.4 points per game up until February 20th. However, the Sixers would trade him and Lavoy Allen on that day for Danny Granger and a second-round pick. Turner's role on his new team was vastly diminished, going from 35 minutes per game with the Sixers to just 21 with the Pacers. He never seemed to gel in Indiana, and the Pacers ended up not making Turner a qualifying offer, sending him to unrestricted free agency. He signed with the Boston Celtics, where he spent 2 seasons and finished 5th in the 6th Man of the Year race in 2016 after averaging 10.5 points, 4.9 rebounds and 4.4 assists. Turner signed a 4-year, $70 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers in the infamous 2016 summer free agent frenzy. He helped Portland advance to their first Western Conference Finals in 19 years in the 2018 to 2019 season, scoring 10 points in the fourth quarter of Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. At the end of the regular season, in April 2019, Turner finished with 13 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists in a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves. The very next game, against the Memphis Grizzlies, Turner put up 13 points, 12 rebounds, and 11 assists, becoming the first Trail Blazer to record triple-doubles in back-to-back games since Clyde Drexler in 1990. However, despite his contributions, he was traded in the offseason to the Atlanta Hawks in exchange for Kent Bazemore. Turner would appear in 19 games in 2019 to 2020 for the Hawks, before being traded during the trade deadline to the Minnesota Timberwolves as part of a 4-team deal. He never appeared in a game for the Timberwolves, and would announce his retirement from basketball in November 2020. In 10 NBA seasons, Turner averaged 9.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, and 3.5 assists per game. Turner would return to the NBA on the sidelines as an assistant coach for the Boston Celtics for the 2020 to 2021 season. In 2022, Turner and former teammate and good friend Andre Iguodala would co-launch the Point Forward podcast, and co-founded a media and production company called New Amendment. Turner had his collegiate number, 21, retired by Ohio State in February 2016. Pick 3, Derek Favors. Derek Favors would declare for the 2010 draft after 1 year at Georgia Tech. The New Jersey Nets selected him with the 3rd overall pick. Midway through his rookie year, Favors was involved in a blockbuster trade when he, Devin Harris, and 2 first-round picks were shipped to the Utah Jazz in exchange for Deron Williams. Favors was named to the All-Rookie second team after averaging 6.8 points per game, and 8.2 after he was traded to the Jazz. Favors' role increased in the ensuing years, and he would sign a 4-year extension with the Jazz a few weeks before the start of the 2013-14 season. His best season came in 2015-16, when he averaged 16.4 points, 8.1 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks. Favors would play 9 seasons with the Jazz before being traded to the New Orleans Pelicans in the 2019 offseason for 2 second-round picks. He averaged 9 points and 9.8 rebounds in his 1 season with the Pelicans, including recording a 20-point, 20-rebound game on November 14th against the Clippers. Favors re-signed with the Jazz the following offseason, where he spent the 2021 season before being traded again in the offseason, this time alongside a first-round pick to the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for a second-round pick and cash considerations. He appeared in 39 games for the Thunder before a back injury cut his season short. Favors would again be traded in the offseason in an 8-player deal with the Houston Rockets, but was waived before ever playing a game for them. Favors would go without a team for most of the 2023 season, only seeing a 10-day contract with the Atlanta Hawks without ever playing a game for the team. In October 2023, Favors signed with the G League's Windy City Bulls, where he played for a season. Favors is not retired from basketball, but remains unsigned, and an NBA return looks unlikely at best. Favors is currently the Jazz's 4th leading rebounder all-time. Pick 4, Wesley Johnson. After time spent at Iowa State and Syracuse, Wesley Johnson would forego his senior year to declare for the NBA draft. He was taken with the 4th pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. He averaged 9 points in 26 minutes his rookie year, making the All-Rookie second team, before seeing his stats diminish across the board because of a reduced role in his second year. Johnson was traded to the Phoenix Suns in a 3-team deal during the 2012 offseason, but only spent a year in the Desert State before signing with the Los Angeles Lakers the following offseason. He averaged career highs across the board in his first year with the Lakers, establishing himself as a premier 3-and-D wing after draining 37% of his three-pointers and being only one of 8 players to average over 1 block and 1 steal per game. Johnson had his best season in 2015, his second with the Lakers, averaging 9.9 points and 4.2 rebounds. He changed teams in the 2015 offseason, but didn't have to move after signing with the Los Angeles Clippers. He spent 3 years as a reliable bench player for the Clippers before being traded in the 2018 offseason to the New Orleans Pelicans in exchange for Alexis Ajinca. He appeared in 26 games for the Pelicans, including making 13 starts, before being traded near the deadline to the Washington Wizards for Markieff Morris and a second-round pick. Johnson appeared in 12 games for the Wizards in what was his final season in the NBA. He signed a 1-year deal with Panathinaikos in 2019 to 2020, and won a Greek League championship with the team that season. Johnson never announced an official retirement from basketball, but never signed another professional contract. He began a career as a broadcaster, becoming a TV analyst for the New Orleans Pelicans in October 2024. Pick 5, DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins declared for the draft after 1 season at Kentucky, where he was teammates with John Wall. Cousins was drafted 5th by the Sacramento Kings. He finished third in Rookie of the Year voting and was named first-team All-Rookie after averaging 14.1 points and 8.6 assists. Cousins established himself as a dominant interior force in his second year, averaging a double-double with 18.1 points and 11 rebounds, including a monstrous 4.1 offensive rebounds per game. Cousins would make his first All-Star game in 2015 after being named as a replacement for the injured Kobe Bryant, becoming the first King to be named an All-Star since 2004. In a game against the Houston Rockets on April 1, 2015, Cousins finished with a stat line of 24 points, 21 rebounds, 10 assists, and 6 blocks. He became the fourth player in NBA history to finish with 20 points, 20 rebounds, 10 assists, and 5 blocks in a single game. The very next game, on April 3 against the New Orleans Pelicans, Cousins recorded 24 points, 20 rebounds, and a career-high 13 assists, becoming the third player to have consecutive 20-point, 20-rebound, 10-assist games. He was named second-team All-NBA at the end of the year, his first All-NBA selection. He matched the feat the following season, earning an All-Star bid and a spot on All-NBA's second team for a second consecutive year. Cousins scored a career-high 56 points against the Charlotte Hornets in January 2016, and that total was the highest single-game mark that season. In February 2017, Cousins headlined a blockbuster trade when he and Omri Caspi were sent to the New Orleans Pelicans for Tyreke Evans, Buddy Hield, Langston Galloway, a first-round pick, and a second-round pick. He was averaging a career-high 27.8 points per game prior to the trade, and was named an All-Star for the third consecutive season. The Pelicans would miss the playoffs in his first season with the team, but expectations of the Cousins-Anthony Davis big man duo for the following season were sky-high, and for the first 48 games it was justified. Cousins was named an All-Star for the fourth consecutive season while averaging 25.2 points and 12.9 rebounds. Cousins recorded 44 points, 24 rebounds, and 10 assists in a game against the Chicago Bulls on January 22, 2018. At the time, that was just the 10th occurrence of a player recording 40 points, 20 rebounds, and 10 assists in a game in NBA history, and the first since Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in 1972. However, just 4 days later, Cousins would tragically tear his Achilles in the final seconds of a game against the Rockets, and missed the rest of the season. At this time, Achilles tears were usually a death sentence for NBA careers, especially for big men. Cousins was one of the most dominant big men of the last half-decade, but despite this, neither the Pelicans nor any other team wanted to offer a long-term contract extension to a center coming off an Achilles tear. He turned his focus to signing with an elite team, and ended up signing with the Golden State Warriors on the mid-level exception. The starting five of Cousins, Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Draymond Green was, on paper, among the most talented ever assembled in the history of the NBA, and the Warriors were willing to exercise patience with Cousins as he rehabilitated from his injury. He would appear in 30 games for the Warriors, averaging 16.3 points and 8.2 rebounds. He would also get his first taste of postseason action, as he had never made it with the Kings and was injured for the Pelicans' run. Unfortunately, he would miss most of the postseason after suffering a torn quadricep in the second game of the Warriors' first-round matchup. Cousins would sign a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers in the offseason, but unfortunately suffered yet another serious injury, tearing his ACL in a pickup game. He would miss the entire 2019 to 2020 season, and the Lakers would waive him in February 2020 without ever having appeared in a game for the franchise. However, the Lakers won the NBA championship that year, and Cousins was awarded a ring. Cousins signed with the Rockets in December 2020, and appeared in 25 games before being waived in February 2021. Cousins would sign and finish the season with the Los Angeles Clippers, appearing in 16 games. He signed with the defending champion Milwaukee Bucks the following offseason, and appeared in 17 games before being waived in January 2022. The Denver Nuggets would sign him for the rest of the season, appearing in 31 games. That was Cousins' final season in the NBA, and he would sign with the Guaynabo Mets in Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior Nacional League in April 2023. He averaged 20.4 points, 10.9 rebounds, and 4.5 assists, leading the team to the semifinals. In December 2023, Cousins signed with the Taiwan Beer Leopards in Taiwan's T1 League. His team won the league championship in 2024, where he was named T1 League Finals MVP, and he was named the most popular player of the year. After stints playing in the Asian Tournament, the League in Mongolia, and the Dubai International Basketball Championship, Cousins would re-sign with Guaynabo in April 2025. Cousins had a fiery personality, and oftentimes found himself in controversy throughout his career. He was suspended multiple times by the league for technical foul accumulation, and was once suspended for punching Patrick Beverley in the stomach. During his second stint with Guaynabo, in June 2025, Cousins had to be restrained by multiple teammates after clashing with fans in the stands. He was suspended for the remainder of the season, and Guaynabo terminated his contract the next day. That may be the last time we ever see DeMarcus Cousins on a professional basketball court. Cousins was a polarizing player, but his talent was indisputable, and it seemed the injury bug bit right as he was reaching his peak. A walking double-double in his prime, Cousins will go down as one of the dominant big men of the 2010s. He finished his career as a 4-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA second team, and won 2 gold medals as a member of Team USA. Pick 6, at Udo. Udo played 3 seasons of college basketball at Michigan and Baylor before declaring for the draft. He was drafted 6th overall by the Golden State Warriors. After averaging 4.1 points and 3.1 rebounds his rookie season, Udo left the NBA during the duration of the 2011 NBA lockout, signing with Bnei Herzliya of the Israeli Premier Basketball League. He returned to the Warriors at the conclusion of the lockout. Udo was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks alongside Monta Ellis and Kwame Brown in March 2012 in exchange for Andrew Bogut and Steven Jackson. He remained with the Bucks for the next 2 seasons, earning regular minutes off the bench, before signing with the Clippers in September 2014. He averaged only 3.9 minutes in 33 games, failing to secure a role on the team. Udo signed with Fenerbahçe of the Turkish Basketball Super League in July 2015. He played 2 seasons with the club with great success, winning the Turkish League both years and the Turkish Cup in his first. They advanced to the EuroLeague Final Four in Udo's first year, and won the EuroLeague Championship in his second, with Udo being named EuroLeague Final Four MVP. Udo led the EuroLeague in rebounding in 2017, in blocks for both of his seasons, and was named to the All-EuroLeague First Team, as well as a Turkish League All-Star. In July 2017, Udo returned to the NBA, signing a 2-year contract with the Utah Jazz. Udo played bench minutes during his time with the Jazz, which would be his last 2 seasons in the NBA. He played 2 seasons in the Chinese Basketball Association, his first with the Beijing Ducks before joining the Beijing Royal Fighters. In July 2021, Udo signed with Virtus Bologna of the Italian LBA. However, he would suffer a patellar tendon injury in September 2021 and missed the rest of the season. Virtus went on to win the Italian Super Cup that season. Udo would join Japan's B-League, signing with the Shermaine Susanoo Magic in December 2022 and the Kyoto Haneras in February 2023. Udo never officially retired, but never signed another professional contract. Udo returned to the NBA as an assistant coach, joining Quinn Snyder on the Atlanta Hawks in June 2023, where he still coaches as of December 2025. Udo finished his NBA career with averages of 3.5 points and 2.9 rebounds per game. Udo also runs an online, public book club through the Twitter hashtag #XBookClub. Udo's parents are both Nigerian, and he was a member of Nigeria's national team for the 2019 FIBA World Cup and 2020 Olympics. Pick 7, Greg Monroe. Greg Monroe was drafted 7th overall by the Detroit Pistons after 2 years at Georgetown. Monroe finished 6th in Rookie of the Year voting and was named to the All-Rookie second team, averaging 9.4 points and 7.5 rebounds on the season. Monroe started every single game for the Pistons during his second season, averaging 15.4 points and 9.7 rebounds. In arguably the best season of his career, Monroe averaged a double-double during his 5th and final year with the Pistons, putting up 15.9 points and 10.2 rebounds during the 2014-15 season. In July 2015, Monroe signed a 3-year, $50 million contract with the Milwaukee Bucks. He was assigned a permanent bench role for the 2016-17 season, and finished 6th in Sixth Man of the Year voting, averaging 11.7 points and 6.6 rebounds while appearing in 81 games. In November 2017, Monroe, a protected first-round pick and a second-round pick were shipped to the Phoenix Suns for Eric Bledsoe. He appeared in 20 games, including 14 starts, for the Suns before being waived. Monroe signed with the Celtics in February 2018 for the rest of the season, appearing in 26 games for the franchise. Monroe recorded 19 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists off the bench in a game against the Chicago Bulls in April 2018, becoming the first Celtics center to record a triple-double since Robert Parrish in 1987. Monroe would sign with the Toronto Raptors the ensuing offseason, appearing in 38 games before being traded to the Brooklyn Nets alongside a second-round pick for cash considerations in February 2019. Monroe was waived by the Nets before appearing in a game. He signed 10-day contracts with the Celtics and Philadelphia 76ers, but could not get a permanent contract the remainder of the year. In July 2019, Monroe went overseas, signing with Bayern Munich of the German basketball Bundesliga. He averaged 12.9 points and 6.8 assists in one season with the club before signing with Khimki of Russia's VTB United League in July 2020. Monroe then attempted an NBA comeback, signing with the G League's Capital City Go-Go. He signed 10-day contracts with 4 different franchises throughout the 2021-22 season, appearing in games for the Minnesota Timberwolves, Washington Wizards, Milwaukee Bucks, and Utah Jazz. Monroe never played again in the NBA, instead signing with the Shaanxi Loons of the Chinese Basketball Association in December 2022. In March 2023, Monroe signed with Osos de Manatí of Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior Nacional. Monroe announced his retirement as a player in September 2024, but returned to the NBA as a player development coach for the New Orleans Pelicans. Pick 8. Al-Farouq Aminu. Al-Farouq Aminu declared for the draft after 2 years at Wake Forest, and was drafted 8th overall by the Los Angeles Clippers. After finishing his rookie year averaging 5.6 points, Aminu was part of a blockbuster trade during the 2011 lockout. Aminu, along with Chris Kaman, Eric Gordon, and a first-round pick were sent to the New Orleans Hornets for Chris Paul and 2 second-round picks. Aminu would appear in every game in his first season with the Hornets, averaging 6 points in 22 minutes. Aminu spent 3 years with the Hornets, who rebranded to the Pelicans before the 2013-14 season, before signing with the Dallas Mavericks in July 2014. He appeared in 74 games during his lone season with the Mavericks before signing a 4-year, $30 million contract with the Portland Trail Blazers in July 2015. Aminu had the best season of his career in 2015-16, his first with the Trail Blazers, averaging 10.2 points while draining 36% of his three-pointers and starting all 82 games. In the Blazers' first-round playoff matchup against the Los Angeles Lakers, Aminu recorded a career-high 30 points to go along with 10 rebounds in Game 4. The Blazers would go on to win the series in 6 games before being ousted by the Golden State Warriors in the second round. Aminu would spend 4 years with the Trail Blazers before signing with the Orlando Magic in July 2019. Unfortunately, Aminu would suffer a torn meniscus in December 2019. The injury caused him to miss the remainder of the season as well as the beginning of 2020-21. In March 2021, Aminu was traded to the Chicago Bulls alongside Nikola Vucevic in exchange for Wendell Carter Jr., Otto Porter Jr., and 2 first-round picks. He remained with the Bulls for the remainder of the season, appearing in 6 games, before being traded again in August 2021 alongside Thaddeus Young and a first-round pick to the San Antonio Spurs for DeMar DeRozan. Aminu was waived before ever appearing in a game for the Spurs. He signed a 10-day contract with the Boston Celtics in December 2021, but never appeared in a game for the franchise. Aminu has never officially announced retirement, but has not signed another professional contract since. Aminu's father is Nigerian, and Aminu represented the Nigerian national basketball team. He led Nigeria to the 2015 FIBA Africa Championship, and was featured on their 2012 Olympic roster. Aminu has organized an annual basketball camp in Nigeria every year since 2016 under he and his wife's foundation, Aminu Good Works Foundation. Pick 9, Gordon Hayward. Gordon Hayward declared for the draft after leading Butler to the national championship in his second and final year in college. He was drafted 9th overall by the Utah Jazz. Hayward came off the bench and received spot minutes to begin his rookie campaign, but his role expanded after the Jazz traded star point guard Deron Williams. He scored 34 points in the final game of the season and finished his rookie year averaging 5.4 points per game. Hayward appeared in every possible game for the Jazz in the lockout-shortened 2011-12 season, starting 58 out of a possible 66 games. He more than doubled his scoring output, jumping to 11.8 points per game. After veterans Al Jefferson and Paul Millsap left in the 2013 offseason, Hayward's role greatly expanded, and the stats reflected that. Hayward put up new career highs in points, rebounds, assists, and steals per game, finishing with 16.2, 5.1, 5.2, and 1.4, respectively. His scoring output continued to increase season after season, peaking with 21.9 points per game during the 2016-17 season. He also contributed 5.4 rebounds per game, and was named an All-Star for the first time in his career. In the Jazz's first-round playoff matchup against the Los Angeles Clippers, Hayward scored a then-career-high 40 points in Game 3, including 21 in the first quarter. That first quarter mark set a Jazz franchise playoff record for most points scored in any one quarter. The Jazz would win the series in 7 games, with Hayward scoring 26 in the closeout game, before getting swept by the Golden State Warriors in the second round. Hayward was one of the bigger names set to hit unrestricted free agency in the ensuing offseason. In July 2017, Hayward announced he was signing with the Boston Celtics for 4 years and $128 million. However, less than 6 minutes into his debut with the Celtics, Hayward suffered a gruesome injury after landing awkwardly following an alley-oop attempt. He suffered a fractured tibia and dislocated ankle, and the injury kept him out the remainder of the season. Hayward would return the next season, but he was relegated to a bench role for most of the season due to the emergence of Boston's young stars in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. He returned to a starting role in the 2019-20 season, but suffered a grade 3 ankle sprain in the first round of the NBA playoffs in the Disney bubble, which kept him out for the rest of the Celtics' run to the Eastern Conference Finals. That year ended up being Hayward's last in Celtic green, as he would decline his player option to enter free agency that offseason. Hayward ended up with the Charlotte Hornets in a sign-and trade that also saw the two teams swap second-round picks. His new contract was worth $120 million over 4 years. His first year in Charlotte saw his scoring average jump back up to 19.6 points per game, and he also added 5.9 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1.2 steals. In January 2021, he set a new career high with 44 points in a game against the Atlanta Hawks. However, Hayward was only available for 44 games that year because of various injuries. That was unfortunately the story of his time with the Hornets, as the next 2 years, he would only play in 49 and 50 games. In February 2024, Hayward was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder in exchange for Davis Bertans, Trey Mann, Vasilija Micic, and 2 second-round picks. However, injuries by then had taken a massive toll on Hayward, and he was unable to carve out a role on the up-and-coming Thunder. Hayward appeared in 26 games for the Thunder, averaging 17 minutes a game, the lowest since his rookie year, and his scoring also dropped to 5.3 points per game. Hayward announced his retirement from basketball on social media in August 2024. A gruesome injury robbed Hayward of his true potential, but Hayward is a testament to hard work paying off, as he increased his scoring average for 6 consecutive seasons, culminating in an All-Star berth. He currently sits 9th all-time in Jazz history in points. Hayward has since returned to his alma mater, taking a role as an executive basketball advisor for Butler in October 2025. Pick 10, Paul George. Paul George was drafted 10th overall to the Indiana Pacers after 2 stellar seasons at Fresno State. He finished his rookie year with averages of 7.8 points and 3.7 rebounds, and was named second-team All-Rookie. George participated in the dunk contest during All-Star Weekend in his second season, and started all 66 possible regular season games in the lockout-shortened season. George became the primary option in his third season due to Danny Granger injuries, and he capitalized on the opportunity. He averaged career highs across the board with 17.4 points, 7.6 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1.8 steals. George was the only player in the league with at least 140 steals and 50 blocks that season, and was named an All-Star for the first time in his career. In November 2012, in a game against the New Orleans Hornets, George scored a then-career-high 37 points and knocked down 9 three-pointers. Those 9 threes broke Reggie Miller's franchise record for most three-pointers made in one game. George won the Most Improved Player award at the end of the year, and finished 8th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. He was also named third-team All-NBA and second-team All-Defense. That was just the beginning for George, as his next season would be even better. He was in early Most Valuable Player talks as the Pacers ripped off a 15-1 start to the season. They would finish 56-26, and George would finish 9th in Most Valuable Player voting and 7th in Defensive Player of the Year with 21.7 points, 6.8 rebounds, 3.5 assists, and 1.9 steals. He was named an All-Star and third-team All-NBA for the second consecutive year, and made the jump to first-team All-Defense. However, for the second straight season, the Pacers would fall to the Miami Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals. George was a potential representative for Team USA at that summer's FIBA World Cup, and he was named to the training camp roster. However, during a practice, George landed awkwardly at the base of a basket stanchion, suffering a gruesome injury. George suffered a compound fracture of both bones in his lower right leg, an injury expected to keep him out the entirety of the ensuing NBA season. However, throughout his rehabilitation, George had maintained that he wanted to return that season, and he was able to play the final 6 games of the regular season. He was on a heavy minutes restriction for those games, and the Pacers missed the postseason without a healthy George for most of the year. Thankfully, he was fully healthy for the 2015-2016 season, and even started 81 games. In December 2015, George scored a career-high 48 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors. George was named an All-Star for the third time, and was the leading scorer in the All-Star game with 41 points, finishing 1 point shy of the All-Star game record held by Wilt Chamberlain. He helped the Pacers return to the playoffs, where they fell to the Toronto Raptors in the first round in 7 games. George finished the year averaging 23.1 points, 7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 1.9 steals. He was named third-team All-NBA and second-team All-Defense at the season's end. Despite previously experiencing the gruesome injury, George rejoined Team USA for the 2016 Olympics, where he won a gold medal. George was an All-Star again the next season, but he once again saw his season end at the hands of a LeBron James-led team in the playoffs, this time the Cleveland Cavaliers. George's contract ended after the 2017-2018 season, and he had been very vocal about wanting to sign with his hometown Los Angeles Lakers at the conclusion of his contract. Fearing losing George for nothing in free agency, the Pacers struck while the iron was hot, trading George to the Oklahoma City Thunder in July 2017 in exchange for Victor Oladipo and Domantas Sabonis. George was once again named an All-Star and to the All-NBA third team, and finished 4th in Defensive Player of the Year voting, despite not making a defense team. The Thunder were upset in the first round of the playoffs by the Utah Jazz, and George's strong series was unfortunately overshadowed by a dismal 2-16 shooting performance in the deciding Game 6. In the offseason, George said he loved the situation with the Thunder and decided to not even meet with the Lakers in free agency, instead opting to re-sign with the Thunder on a 4-year, $137 million contract. He followed the new contract with the best season of his career. George either matched or set career highs with 28 points, which was second in the NBA behind only James Harden, 8.2 rebounds, 4.1 assists, and 2.2 steals. His steal mark was the best in the league, and he finished 3rd in Defensive Player of the Year voting, was named first-team All-Defense, and an All-Star for the 6th time in his career. However, George suffered a shoulder injury late in the year, which clearly impacted his ability to shoot. He was hindered in the playoffs as the Thunder suffered yet another disappointing first-round exit, this time at the hands of the Portland Trail Blazers. Despite the disappointing exit, George finished third in MVP voting and on the All-NBA first team. George would undergo 2 shoulder surgeries in the offseason. The infamous 2019 offseason saw a number of star players swap teams, with the most sought after arguably being Kawhi Leonard, fresh off leading the Toronto Raptors to an NBA championship. The Lakers were the favorites to sign Leonard, but he had something else in mind. Rather than share the spotlight with LeBron James, Leonard wanted to pick a co-star of his own. He informed the Los Angeles Clippers that if they could land Paul George, he would sign with them. In July 2019, George was traded to the Clippers for the motherlode of resources: 5 unprotected first-round picks, 2 first-round pick swaps, Danilo Gallinari, and a young guard coming off a promising rookie year named Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The Clippers instantly had one of the strongest two-way duos in the league in George and Leonard. George missed the first 11 games while recovering from the off-season shoulder surgeries, and his averages all took a dip while playing less minutes and sharing the load with Leonard. However, in the NBA bubble, George struggled with his shot as the Clippers squandered a 3-1 lead to the Denver Nuggets in the second round. George was largely blamed for the series loss, and was infamously dubbed Pandemic P online after a dismal 4-16 performance in the deciding Game 7. In 2020-2021, with his co-star Leonard missing nearly the entire season due to injury, George returned to all-star form, averaging 23.3 points, 6.6 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. He was named third-team All-NBA for the 5th time in his career, and overcame last season's playoff struggles by leading the Clippers to the Western Conference Finals for the first time in the franchise's history. George scored a playoff career-high 41 points in a crucial Game 5 victory, but the Clippers would fall to the Phoenix Suns in 6 games. In December 2021, George suffered a torn UCL, an injury which limited him to just 31 games. He returned before the season's end, but the Clippers were eliminated by the New Orleans Pelicans in the play-in tournament. George would regain his All-Star status the following season, but an injury once again prematurely ended his season, this time a right knee sprain suffered in March 2023 that he would have been able to come back from had the Clippers advanced past the first round. George thankfully had good health throughout the 2023-2024 season, appearing in 74 games. He was named an All-Star for the 9th time in his career after averaging 22.6 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 3.5 assists. In April 2024, in a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, George finished with 39 points, 11 rebounds, and 7 assists. He scored 23 of his 29 points in the fourth quarter as the Clippers came back from down 26 points to win, marking the largest comeback win in franchise history. However, the Clippers would suffer yet another early playoff exit, this time at the hands of the Dallas Mavericks. George decided to opt out of his player option and enter unrestricted free agency. He signed with the Philadelphia 76ers in July 2024. In a game against the Utah Jazz in December 2024, George moved into 9th all-time in threes made, surpassing Vince Carter. Unfortunately, George struggled with injuries throughout the campaign, appearing in just 41 games. When he was healthy, George was largely ineffective, struggling to knock down shots as his scoring dipped to 16.2 points per game. Currently, George is in the middle of his second season with the Sixers, where he is averaging 16 points per game. A 9-time All-Star, 6-time All-NBA member, including 1 first-team, 4-time All-Defense, and the 2013 NBA Most Improved Player, George will surely be a Hall of Famer after retiring from the NBA. George launched a podcast called Podcast P with Paul George in 2023, where he often has NBA players as guests and discusses both basketball and off-the-court life and hobbies. Pick 11, Cole Aldrich. Cole Aldrich was drafted 11th overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder after an illustrious 3-year collegiate career at Kansas, winning a national championship with the Jayhawks in 2008. Aldrich bounced between the Thunder's active roster and their D-League affiliate throughout his rookie season, appearing in 18 games and finishing with averages of 1 point and 1.9 rebounds. Aldrich's role didn't expand in his second year, and in October 2012, he was part of the blockbuster trade that saw himself, James Harden, Daquan Cook and Lazar Hayward sent to the Houston Rockets in exchange for Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb, 2 first-round picks and a second-round pick. Aldrich appeared in 30 games with the Rockets before being traded in February 2013 alongside Tony Douglas and Patrick Patterson to the Sacramento Kings for Francisco Garcia, Thomas Robinson and Tyler Honeycutt. He appeared in 14 games for the Kings before becoming a free agent that offseason and signing with the New York Knicks in September 2013. He spent 2 seasons in New York, with his second season being the best of his career. His playing time jumped to 16 minutes per game as he started 16 games, both career highs, and his statistical output increased across the board as a result. Aldrich finished the 2014 to 2015 season averaging 5.5 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 1.2 assists. Following his career best year, Aldrich signed a 3-year $22 million contract with the Minnesota Timberwolves in July 2016. He spent 2 years with the Timberwolves, playing spot minutes off the bench, before being waived in June 2018. In September 2018, Aldrich was signed by the Atlanta Hawks, but was waived before the regular season began. He signed with the Tianjin Golden Lions of the Chinese Basketball Association in October 2018, but suffered a knee sprain a few games into the season and returned home to the United States. Aldrich planned on taking the ensuing year off from basketball before returning, but announced his retirement from the game shortly after his son was born during the COVID-19 pandemic. In 8 NBA seasons, Aldrich finished with averages of 3.1 points and 3.3 rebounds per game. He did a piece with the New York Times in 2022, offering readers insight into what the life of an NBA player looks like after retirement. Aldrich is now a stay-at-home dad and an avid cyclist. Pick 12 Xavier Henry. Born in Ghent, Belgium, Xavier Henry declared for the draft after a one-and-done season at Kansas. He was taken 12th overall by the Memphis Grizzlies. Henry appeared in 38 games in his rookie season, averaging 4.3 points and just under 14 minutes per game. In January 2012, Henry was traded to the New Orleans Hornets as part of a 3-team deal. Henry carved out a consistent bench role, averaging 4.6 points in 15 minutes across 2 seasons with the Hornets. In September 2013, Henry signed with the Los Angeles Lakers, and had a career-best year his first season with the Purple and Gold. Henry averaged 10 points, 2.7 rebounds, and 1.2 assists, all career highs, in 21 minutes of action per game. However, at the conclusion of the season, Henry would undergo surgeries for a torn ligament in his wrist and a cartilage abnormality in his knee. The knee injury specifically lingered, and Henry would travel to Germany in October 2014 for specialized treatment. Henry would recover in time for the start of the season, but unfortunately, he would suffer a ruptured Achilles during a practice in November 2014. The injury kept him out the remainder of the year, and in December 2014, Henry was waived by the Lakers. That would be the last season he spent any time on an active NBA roster. Henry was acquired by the D-League's Santa Cruz Warriors in November 2015, where he spent the 2015 to 2016 season. He was signed by the Milwaukee Bucks in September 2016, but was waived prior to the start of training camp. Henry was picked up a few months later, in November 2016, by the now G-League's Oklahoma City Blue, before announcing his retirement as a player in 2017. Henry's career was unfortunately derailed by injuries after a promising season with the Lakers, but he leaves behind a strong legacy with the Kansas Jayhawks, where both of his parents also played collegiate basketball. In 5 NBA seasons, Henry averaged 5.7 points across 185 career games. Since retirement, he has started a training academy for basketball players called X Marks the Shot. Henry has since picked up coaching, taking a position in 2024 as head coach of U.S. Grant High School in Oklahoma. Pick 13, Ed Davis. Ed Davis was drafted with the 13th pick by the Toronto Raptors after 2 years at UNC, winning an NCAA championship with the Tar Heels in 2009. Davis quickly secured a consistent bench role, and finished his rookie year averaging 7.7 points and 7.1 rebounds in just under 25 minutes per game. Davis appeared in every game during his second NBA season, but his scoring and rebounding production dipped slightly. Davis averaged a career-best 9.7 points per game to go along with 6.7 rebounds in the first half of his third season. However, he would be traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in January 2013 as part of a three-team deal. He spent the next season and a half with the Grizzlies, but his role was decreased, and he was not given a qualifying offer at the conclusion of his fourth season, making him an unrestricted free agent. Davis signed a one-year deal with the Los Angeles Lakers, and earned back a consistent bench role while averaging 8.3 points, 7.6 rebounds, and a career-best 1.2 blocks. This revitalized his career, and he signed a 3-year, $20 million deal with the Portland Trail Blazers the ensuing offseason. In November 2015, Davis finished with 17 points and 15 rebounds, including a career-high 10 offensive rebounds, in a game against the Los Angeles Clippers, becoming the first Trail Blazer to have double-digit offensive rebounds in one game since Greg Oden in 2009. He also became the first Blazers player to have 15 rebounds off the bench since Trevor Outlaw in 2006. Davis finished the 2015-2016 season averaging 6.5 points, 7.4 rebounds, and finished 8th and 6th Man of the Year voting. Davis would miss half of the ensuing season after undergoing arthroscopic surgery on his shoulder before seeing his role shrink in his final season with the Trail Blazers. He signed with the Brooklyn Nets in July 2018, appearing in all but one game that season for the franchise and averaging a career-best 8.6 rebounds per game. Davis signed with the Utah Jazz in July 2019, but unfortunately suffered a fractured fibula in November 2019 that limited him to 28 games. Davis bounced around a few teams, being traded to the New York Knicks in November 2020 alongside 2 second-round picks for cash considerations. Just a day after he was initially traded, and without ever having appeared in a game for the Knicks, Davis was traded again, this time to the Minnesota Timberwolves in exchange for Omari Spellman, Jacob Evans III, and a second-round pick. He appeared in 23 games for the franchise before signing with the Cleveland Cavaliers the ensuing offseason. By then, injuries and father time had taken their toll on Davis, and he played spot minutes in 31 appearances for the Cavs in what ended up being his last season in the NBA. Davis finished his NBA career with averages of 5.9 points and 6.4 rebounds across 12 seasons. He signed with the Guaynabo Mets of Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior Nacional in February 2023, but was released by the team in April after just a few months. Davis has not officially retired from the game of basketball, and most recently played with the NLEX Road Warriors of the Philippine Basketball League. Pick 14, Patrick Patterson. Patrick Patterson was drafted 14th overall by the Houston Rockets after starring at Kentucky for 3 years. He finished his rookie year averaging 6.3 points and 3.8 assists. His role began to increase, as did his statistical output. Patterson was off to the best start of his career in 2012 to 2013, his third year in the league, averaging 11.6 points and 4.7 rebounds for the first half of the season. However, Patterson was traded in February 2013 alongside Cole Aldrich and Tony Douglas to the Sacramento Kings in exchange for Thomas Robinson, Francisco Garcia, and Tyler Honeycutt. He never quite found his footing with his new team, and after 41 appearances across 2 seasons, Patterson was again traded in December 2013, this time to the Toronto Raptors alongside Greaves Vasquez, John Salmons, and Chuck Hayes in exchange for Rudy Gay, Quincy Acey, and Aaron Gray. Patterson saw his scoring average jump back up to 9.1 points per game, and re-signed with the Raptors in July 2014 for $18 million over 3 years. Patterson appeared in all but one game the ensuing season, and was in contention for 6th Man of the Year in 2015 to 2016 after averaging 8 points and 5.3 rebounds per game. After spending 4 years with the Raptors, Patterson signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder in July 2017. He underwent off-season arthroscopic knee surgery, but recovered in time for the start of the season and appeared in all 82 games for the Thunder. However, Patterson began struggling with his shooting efficiency and saw his minutes begin to decrease. In August 2019, Patterson was bought out by the Thunder after 2 seasons, becoming an unrestricted free agent. He signed with the Los Angeles Clippers a few weeks later and averaged 5 points and 14 minutes per game across 2 seasons for the franchise. In September 2021, Patterson signed with the Portland Trail Blazers, but was waived before the start of the season. That would be the last time Patterson has signed a professional basketball contract. He hasn't officially retired, but his social media prominently shows him enjoying life with his family. Patterson finished his career averaging 6.7 points and 3.9 rebounds across 11 seasons. Patterson launched a film company, Undisputed Pictures, in October 2021. Pick 15, Larry Sanders. Larry Sanders did not begin playing basketball until high school, but was a quick study and went on to have a stellar 3-year career at VCU. He declared for the draft after his junior year, and was taken 15th overall by the Milwaukee Bucks. Sanders bounced between the Bucks and their D-League affiliate Fort Wayne Mad Ants throughout his rookie year, finishing with averages of 4.3 points and 3.0 rebounds. His role largely remained the same his sophomore season before Sanders enjoyed a breakout in his 3rd year in the league. Sanders averaged 9.8 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 2.8 blocks per game. His block total was good for 2nd in the league behind only Serge Ibaka. Sanders finished 3rd in Most Improved Player voting and 7th for Defensive Player of the Year. He was rewarded with a 4-year $44 million contract from the Bucks in August 2013. In December 2013, Sanders was involved in an altercation at a nightclub in which he suffered a torn ligament in his thumb. Sanders received a few citations, but avoided legal trouble aside from that. The injury, however, required surgery and sidelined him for months. Sanders also suffered a fractured orbital bone in March 2014, which kept him out the remainder of the season, finishing the year having only appeared in 23 games. The next year wasn't much better, as he only appeared in 27 games due to suspensions and personal reasons. Rumors were swirling that Sanders wanted to retire, which his agent vehemently denied. However, the unavailability became too much for the Bucks, who bought out the remainder of his contract in February 2015, making him a free agent. A few days later, Sanders posted a video revealing he was stepping away from basketball and entering into a program to help him deal with anxiety, depression, and mood swings. Sanders explained it was not worth it for basketball to be consuming so much of his life. He said he still loved the game, and was open to a return should he feel he was capable of playing at a high level again. Sanders missed the entirety of the 2015 to 2016 season before announcing a return to basketball in January 2017. He signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers 2 months later in March, but only appeared in 5 games, playing spot minutes for the franchise. He was not re-signed by the Cavs that offseason, and that would be the last time Sanders was on an NBA roster. He played with the Three-Headed Monsters during the 2019 Big Three season before signing with the Taoyuan Taiwan Beer Leopards of the Taiwan Professional Basketball League in August 2024. However, Sanders was let go by the club in October after just a few months, and has not signed a professional contract since. Sanders averaged 6.4 points, 5.7 rebounds and 1.8 blocks across 6 NBA seasons, but he will be better remembered as an advocate for mental health focus. Sanders has written articles for the Players Tribune about his decision to step away from basketball to focus on his mental health. In his time away from basketball, Sanders worked as a music producer under the stage name LH Show, and received credit on a track on rapper Party Next Door's second studio album. Pick 16, Luke Babbitt. Luke Babbitt declared for the draft after starring at Nevada for 2 years, where he was taken with the 16th overall pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves. However, his draft rights would be shipped to the Portland Trail Blazers, along with Ryan Gomez, in exchange for Martell Webster. Babbitt bounced between the Blazers and their D-League affiliate, the Idaho Stampede, throughout his rookie season, only appearing in 24 games and averaging 1.5 points and 1.3 rebounds in spot minutes. He again spent time with the Stampede in his second year, but managed to earn more playing time, jumping up to 13 minutes per game. His minutes and stats remained similar in his third year, before signing with Nizhny Novgorod of Russia's VTB United League in August 2013. However, in January 2014, Babbitt received an opportunity to return to the NBA and play for the New Orleans Pelicans. Babbitt accepted the offer and flew home despite not having approval from Nizhny, who believed Babbitt had breached his contract and refused to sign a letter of clearance, preventing him from signing a contract in the NBA. Eventually, the Pelicans negotiated a buyout with Nizhny, allowing Babbitt to join them for the end of the 2013 to 2014 NBA season. Babbitt appeared in 27 games for the Pelicans that season, averaging 6.3 points and a career-high 3.3 rebounds per game. He remained with the Pelicans for the next 2 seasons, averaging a career-high 7 points per game in 2015 to 2016. In July 2016, Babbitt was traded to the Miami Heat for a second-round pick and cash considerations. He started a career-high 55 games that season for the Heat before signing with the Atlanta Hawks in the ensuing offseason. After appearing in 37 games, mostly off the bench, for the Hawks, Babbitt was traded back to the Heat for Okaro White. He appeared in 13 games in his second stint with the Heat before announcing his retirement at the conclusion of the 2017 to 2018 season. In 8 NBA seasons, Babbitt averaged 4.8 points and 2.2 rebounds. He transitioned into coaching following his playing career, and is currently the head coach at Bishop Manogue High School in Nevada. Pick 17, Kevin Serafin. Kevin Serafin was born in Kian, French Guiana, a territory of France located in South America. He and his family moved to Paris, France when he was 15. He signed with Cholet Basket of France's LNB Pro A in December 2007 when he turned 18, having played for the club's junior team since 2006. In the 2009 to 2010 season, Serafin helped Cholet win the Pro A championship, winning the Most Improved Player of the French League. He declared for the draft afterwards, and was selected with the 17th overall pick by the Chicago Bulls. However, just 2 weeks later, Serafin, along with Kirk Hinrich, was traded to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Vladimir Veremenko. He averaged 2.7 points and 2.6 rebounds in around 11 minutes per game his rookie year before signing with Caja Laboral of Spain's Liga ACB in September 2011 during the NBA lockout. He returned to the Wizards in December 2011 following the conclusion of the lockout, and saw his minutes nearly double to around 21 per game. Serafin's third season in the league was his best, as he averaged a career high in points with 9.1 to go along with 4.4 rebounds during the 2012 to 2013 season. He remained with the Wizards for the next 2 years, but saw his role on the team shrink back to around 10 minutes a game. In August 2015, Serafin signed with the New York Knicks after 5 years with the Wizards. He appeared in 48 games for the Knicks, and signed with the Indiana Pacers in the ensuing offseason. Serafin appeared in 49 games in his one and only year with the Pacers, averaging 4.7 points and 2.9 rebounds. The Pacers waived him at the end of the season, and he returned to the Liga ACB, signing with FC Barcelona. Serafin helped Barcelona win back-to-back Spanish Cups in 2018 and 2019 before announcing his retirement from basketball in October 2020, listing persistent knee injuries as the reason. Serafin averaged 5.9 points and 3.5 rebounds across 7 NBA seasons. He was a member of the French national basketball team, and helped France win a silver medal at Eurobasket 2011. He was also a member of France's 2012 Olympic team. Serafin has transitioned into management following his playing career, and in 2024, became the general manager of Poissy Basket in France's National Masculine 1 League, the third tier of French professional basketball. Pick 18, Eric Bledsoe. Eric Bledsoe was the third one-and-done Kentucky player selected in the first round following Wall and Cousins, and the fourth Wildcat overall along with Patterson. He was drafted 18th overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder, but was traded to the Los Angeles Clippers for a first-round pick. Bledsoe quickly carved out a role on the Clippers, appearing in 81 games and even starting in 26. He finished his rookie year with 6.7 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 3.6 assists, and was named to the All-Rookie second team. Due to the Clippers' acquisition of Chris Paul, Bledsoe's role shrunk dramatically in his second season, averaging 3.3 points in just 12 minutes per game. He became Paul's primary backup in his third year, jumping back up to 20 minutes, 8.5 points, 3 rebounds, and 3.1 assists per game, and even participated in the 2013 dunk contest during All-Star Weekend. However, in July 2013, Bledsoe was traded in a 3-team deal that saw him heading to the Phoenix Suns. Bledsoe became a starter on the Suns, and set career highs across the board with 17.7 points, 4.7 rebounds, 5.5 assists, and 1.6 steals. However, a meniscus tear in December 2013 limited him to 43 games in the year. Bledsoe thrived in Phoenix when he was healthy, and he was rewarded with a 5-year, $70 million contract extension. Bledsoe put up similar numbers the following season while starting 81 games for the Suns. In February 2015, in a game against the Thunder, Bledsoe finished with 28 points, 13 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 blocks, and a steal. With that stat line, he became the first point guard to record 50% shooting for 28 or more points while recording 13 or more rebounds, 9 or more assists, 4 or more blocks, and at least 1 steal in a game. A very ESPN stat, but he was the first ever to do so it's got to be worth something. In December 2015, Bledsoe recorded 23 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks in a game against the Minnesota Timberwolves, becoming the first guard to record 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, and 4 blocks, known as a 4x4, since Dwayne Wade in February 2009. Unfortunately, just a few weeks later, Bledsoe would tear his meniscus again and miss the rest of the season. Bledsoe would recover in time for the start of the following season, and had the best year of his career. Bledsoe finished the 2016 to 2017 season setting career-high marks in points with 21.1 and assists with 6.3 to go along with 4.8 rebounds and 1.4 steals. In January 2017, he set a career high with 40 points in a game against the Toronto Raptors. Just 6 days later, in a game against the Denver Nuggets, he reset his career high, scoring 41 points. If that wasn't enough, just 2 games later, Bledsoe would match his 41-point career high against his former team, the Clippers. Bledsoe's 3 40-point games within an 11-day span is the fewest days needed to record 3 40-point games in Suns history. However, his season would yet again end prematurely due to injury, as he was shut down in March 2017 after battling knee soreness for an extended period. 3 games into the start of the next season, Bledsoe made headlines after posting a tweet that read, "I don't want to be here." He later claimed that the tweet was in reference to him being in a hair salon, but the Suns' general manager interpreted it as a diss against the organization, and dismissed him from the team while a trade partner was looked for. In November 2017, Bledsoe was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for Greg Monroe, a protected first-round pick, and a second-round pick. The injuries that plagued him in Phoenix thankfully did not follow him to Milwaukee, as Bledsoe started all 71 possible games he could for the Bucks in his first year with the team, finishing with 17.8 points and matching a career high with 2 steals a game. His statistical output decreased across the board in year 2 with the Bucks, but Bledsoe played his role on the team well and was named first-team All-Defense at the end of the year. He was rewarded with a 4-year, $70 million extension from the Bucks in March 2019. Bledsoe once again made an all-defense team the ensuing season, this time the second team, but his offensive output once again worsened as his points per game decreased to 14.9 per game. After another disappointing early playoff exit for the Bucks in the NBA bubble, Bledsoe was traded to the New Orleans Pelicans as part of a 4-team, blockbuster deal that saw Jrue Holiday sent to Milwaukee as Bledsoe's replacement. However, by this point, it was clear Father Time was catching up to him. He started 70 games in his lone season with the Pelicans, but his statistical output and shooting efficiency decreased across the board. Bledsoe was traded again in August 2021, this time to the Memphis Grizzlies along with Steven Adams, the draft rights to Zaire Williams and Jared Butler, and a protected first-round pick in exchange for Jonas Valanciunas and the draft rights to Trey Murphy III and Brandon Boston Jr. Hopefully Bledsoe didn't get too comfortable in Memphis, because he was traded back to the team he started his career with, the Clippers, for Patrick Beverley, Rajon Rondo, and Daniel Oturu. Bledsoe averaged 9.9 points and 4.2 assists in his second stint with the Clippers, which lasted 54 games before he was traded in February 2022 alongside Keon Johnson, Justice Winslow, and a second-round pick to the Portland Trail Blazers in exchange for Norman Powell and Robert Covington. However, Bledsoe never suited up for the Trail Blazers, with the team citing Achilles pain as the reason, and he was waived from the team in July 2022. That was the last time Bledsoe has been on an NBA roster. Bledsoe finished his NBA career averaging 13.7 points, 3.9 rebounds, 4.7 assists, and 1.4 steals across 12 seasons, and was named to 2 All-Defense teams. He signed with the Shanghai Sharks of the Chinese Basketball Association in November 2022. In 2023, Bledsoe's team was disqualified from the CBA playoffs alongside the Jiangsu Dragons for alleged match fixing, and coaches and general managers from both clubs were banned from the CBA. He recently found success with the Sharks, helping the team win the 2025 CBA Club Cup Championship. Bledsoe was named the Finals MVP of the tournament, and remains with the Sharks as of December 2025. Pick 19, Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley committed to Texas as ESPN's top-ranked high schooler in the country. After one season with the Longhorns, he declared for the draft, where he was taken with the 19th pick by the Boston Celtics. Bradley underwent ankle surgery over the summer, missing the NBA Summer League and the first 14 games of his rookie season. He bounced between the Celtics and their D-League affiliate, the Maine Red Claws, throughout his rookie year, buried on the depth chart of a talented Boston team. He averaged 1.7 points in spot minutes, appearing in 31 games as a rookie. In October 2011, Bradley signed with Hapoel Jerusalem of the Israeli Basketball Premier League for the NBA lockout. He returned to the Celtics at the conclusion of the lockout, where his role on the Celtics was greatly expanded, and even became a starter after incumbent Ray Allen got injured. He averaged 7.6 points while making 28 starts, but suffered a dislocated shoulder during the 2012 playoffs, which not only ended his season, but kept him out until January 2013. Bradley became a full-time starter upon his return from the injury, and averaged 9.2 points, 2.2 points, 2.1 assists, and 1.3 steals, struggling with his shooting efficiency but making up for it with gritty, high-intensity defense. His efforts were rewarded when he was named second-team All-Defense at the end of the season. The Celtics traded away aging stars Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce during the 2013 offseason, leading to increased opportunities going into the season. Bradley capitalized, upping his scoring to 14.9 points per game while being a more efficient shooter. He re-signed with the Celtics in the offseason on a 4-year, $32 million contract. 2015 to 2016 was arguably the best year of Bradley's career, averaging 15.2 points, 2.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, and a career-high 1.5 steals. He was named first-team All-Defense, and finished 6th in Defensive Player of the Year voting. Unfortunately, Bradley injured his hamstring in the first game of the Celtics' playoff run, which ended in the first round at the hands of the Atlanta Hawks in 6 games. Bradley enjoyed his most effective season offensively the following year, averaging career highs in points with 16.3 and rebounds with 6.1 to go along with 2.2 assists and 1.2 steals. He helped the Celtics advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, where in Game 3, Bradley hit a go-ahead three-pointer to give Boston the lead with just under a second left. However, that would be the only game the Celtics won, as the Cavs would advance to the NBA Finals in 5 games. Despite Bradley improving year after year, the Celtics desired immediate improvement and wanted to target Gordon Hayward in free agency that offseason. In an effort to clear cap space to sign Hayward, Bradley was traded alongside a second-round pick to the Detroit Pistons for Marcus Morris. Bradley averaged 15 points in 40 games with the Pistons before being a part of a blockbuster trade in January 2018 when he, Tobias Harris, Boban Marjanovic, A protected first-round pick and a second-round pick were sent to the Los Angeles Clippers in exchange for Blake Griffin, Willie Reed, and Bryce Johnson. Bradley was only available for 6 games during his first year with the Clippers, struggling mightily with his outside shot in those games, before undergoing surgery to repair adductor muscles in March 2018, ending his season prematurely. Despite the injury, Bradley re-signed with the Clippers in July 2018. He once again struggled with his shot-making the following season, averaging 8.2 points per game while shooting 38% from the field in 49 games for the Clippers before being traded to the Memphis Grizzlies in February 2019 in exchange for Garrett Temple and JaMychal Green. Bradley rejuvenated his career during his 14-game stint with the Grizzlies, averaging 16.1 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 4 assists with much improved shooting efficiency for the team. Despite the improved play, he was waived by the Grizzlies in July 2019. The Lakers signed him to a 2-year, $9.77 million deal with a player option on the second year shortly after. Bradley averaged 8.6 points in 49 games for the Lakers before the season was suspended due to the COVID-19 pandemic. The season resumed in a quarantine bubble at Disney World in Orlando, Florida, but Bradley opted out of the bubble to remain with his family during the pandemic. The Lakers went on to win the 2020 NBA championship despite Bradley's absence, but he still received a ring for his role on the team that year. Bradley declined the player option after the season, becoming a free agent. He signed with the Miami Heat over the offseason, but only appeared in 10 games with the franchise before being traded alongside Kelly Olynyk and a pick swap to the Houston Rockets for Victor Oladipo. Bradley played in 17 games with the Rockets, appearing in just 27 total games in the 2020-2021 season. The Rockets did not pick up the team option on Bradley's contract after he once again struggled with shooting efficiency, and he signed with the Golden State Warriors in September 2021. However, he was waived in October 2021 before the start of the season, and was claimed off waivers by the Lakers. Bradley averaged 6.4 points in 62 games in his second stint with the Lakers, which ended up being the last year of his NBA career. Bradley never announced his retirement, but he never signed another professional contract as a player, instead turning his efforts towards basketball operations. He joined the Utah Jazz as Vice President of Player Development, reuniting with Jazz CEO of basketball operations Danny Ainge, who was the general manager of the Celtics for Bradley's tenure with the franchise. Bradley finished his career as an NBA champion and a 2-time All-Defense selection. Pick 20, James Anderson. James Anderson was drafted with the 20th overall pick by the San Antonio Spurs after a stellar 3-year career at Oklahoma State. He received playing time early in the season before suffering a stress fracture in his foot, which kept him out until January 2011. After he recovered, Anderson couldn't recapture his early season role, bouncing from the Spurs to their D-League affiliate Austin Toros throughout the rest of his rookie year. He averaged 3.6 points in 26 appearances his rookie year. His second year was not any better, and the Spurs did not pick up his option, making Anderson an unrestricted free agent after just 2 years in the league. He signed with the Atlanta Hawks in September 2012, but was waived before playing a game for the franchise. Anderson was acquired by the Bakersfield Jam of the D-League before being traded to the Rio Grande Valley Vipers. In November 2012, Anderson signed with the Spurs again for a second stint after they suffered a number of small forward injuries early in the year. However, he was waived in December 2012 after appearing in just 10 games, and reacquired by the Valley Vipers a few days later. In January 2013, Anderson signed with the Houston Rockets, who he remained with for the rest of the season. In 29 appearances for the team, he averaged 4 points. He was waived by the Rockets, and signed with the Philadelphia 76ers 1 day later in July 2013. Anderson enjoyed his first year as a full-time starter for the Sixers, as he had the best year of his career while starting 62 out of 80 game appearances. Anderson put up 10.1 points and 3.8 rebounds per game. Despite his career-best year, Anderson was waived by the Sixers at the end of the season, and he ended up signing with Žalgiris Kaunas of Lithuania's LKL in August 2014. He had a prolific season overseas, averaging 14.5 points, 5.1 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. Anderson was named an LKL All-Star and helped Algiers win the LKL Championship for the 5th consecutive year as well as the LKF Cup. He earned another chance in the NBA, signing with the Sacramento Kings in July 2015. Anderson appeared in 51 games for the Kings, averaging 3.5 points per game in what ended up being his last year in the NBA. Anderson wrapped up his NBA career averaging 5.8 points and 2.3 rebounds in 5 years of action. He signed with Darüşşafaka of the Turkiye Basketbol Ligi, the second tier of Turkish professional basketball, in July 2016. After one season with the club, he signed with Khimki of Russia's VTD United League, before returning to Turkey after 1 year in Russia, this time signing with Anadolu Efes of the Turkish Basketbol Super Ligi, the top tier of Turkish professional basketball. He played 4 seasons with the club, winning 2 Turkish League championships in 2019 and 2021 and back-to-back EuroLeague titles in 2021 and 2022. In June 2022, Anderson signed with UCM Murcia of Spain's Liga ACB, playing 1 season with the club before again making a return to Turkish basketball, this time signing with Manisa BB, who are in the Super League. He left Turkey one final time, this time signing with Al Hilal of the Saudi Basketball League in August 2024, where he still plays as of December 2025. Pick 21, Craig Brackens. Craig Brackens was drafted 21st overall by the Oklahoma City Thunder after 3 years at Iowa State. He was traded a few weeks later, along with fellow rookie Quincy Pondexter, to the New Orleans Hornets for the rights to Cole Aldrich and Morris Peterson. In September 2010, Brackens was traded again, this time to the Philadelphia 76ers alongside Darius Songalia in exchange for Willie Green and Jason Smith. Brackens spent a total of 2 years in the NBA, both with the Sixers, and appeared in 17 total games, averaging 1.8 points and 1.1 rebounds. He spent time in the Israeli Premier Basketball League with Maccabi Ashdod BC during the NBA lockout, and played for the Boston Celtics on their 2012 Summer League roster, but never appeared in another NBA regular season game. Brackens bounced around leagues all around the world over the next few years, playing in Italy in 2012, Poland from 2013 to 2014, Turkey from 2014 to 2015, back to Italy in 2015 to 2016 before finishing 2016 in China. In 2017, Brackens signed with the Shiga Lake Stars of Japan's B-League. While he didn't have a consistent team, playing for 3 different clubs, Brackens was able to find a home in the B-League, playing in Japan until 2022. Brackens never formally retired from the game, but he has not signed another professional contract. As of December 2025, Brackens works as the Director of Player Development at Iron Courts, a basketball training facility in Arizona. Pick 22, Elliot Williams. Williams played 2 collegiate seasons, one each for Duke and Memphis, before declaring for the draft. He was taken with the 22nd pick by the Portland Trail Blazers, but would miss his entire rookie season due to a knee injury suffered in a preseason game. Williams' redshirt rookie year was not much better health-wise, as he was limited to 24 appearances due to a shoulder dislocation. As if things couldn't get worse, Williams then missed the entire 2012 to 2013 season due to injury, although there are conflicting reports as to whether it was a torn Achilles or torn ACL. Despite the onslaught of serious injuries, Williams remained determined to play in the NBA, and signed with the Cleveland Cavaliers in September 2013. Williams was waived by the Cavs prior to the start of the season, but signed with the Philadelphia 76ers in November 2013. He had the best year of his career with the Sixers, averaging 6 points in 67 appearances. However, he was not retained by the Sixers in the offseason. Williams was selected with the 2nd overall pick of the D-League draft by the Santa Cruz Warriors in November 2014. In January 2015, he signed 2 10-day contracts with the Utah Jazz, averaging 3.6 points in 5 games before the Jazz elected not to extend him for the rest of the season. He subsequently returned to the Warriors, being named a D-League All-Star, before signing 2 10-day contracts with the New Orleans Pelicans in March 2015. Williams appeared in 8 games, averaging 2.4 points, before again being let go and returning to the Warriors. In April 2015, the Warriors won the D-League championship, with Williams being named Finals MVP as well as the All-NBA D-League second team. Despite this, he was not picked up in the offseason and returned to the Warriors in November 2015. He signed a 10-day contract with the Memphis Grizzlies in January 2016, appearing in 5 games for the franchise before returning to the Warriors upon not receiving an extension. He was named a D-League All-Star for the second straight season, but decided to leave the Warriors to sign with Panathinaikos of the Greek Basket League. He played 1 year overseas before receiving an opportunity to return to the NBA with the Golden State Warriors. He signed with the NBA affiliate of his longtime D-League team in September 2016, but unfortunately, off-season knee surgery caused him to miss the entirety of the preseason, and he was subsequently waived before the beginning of the regular season. That was the last time Williams was on an NBA roster, and he concluded his NBA career averaging 4.9 points in 109 games. After his career, Williams went back to school, earning a law degree and a master's in journalism from Columbia University, and a bachelor's in art history from the University of Pennsylvania. For a few years, Williams served as a Deputy Assistant General for Legislative Affairs in the U.S. Department of Justice, and he is now a legal analyst for CNN, appearing on TV and radio outlets to discuss legal and political issues. Pick 23, Trevor Booker. Trevor Booker was selected with the 23rd pick by the Minnesota Timberwolves after 4 years at Clemson, but he was shortly after traded to the Washington Wizards for the rights to Lazar Hayward, Nemanja Bjelica, and the 56th pick. Booker appeared in 65 games throughout his rookie year, carving out a consistent bench role while averaging 5.3 points and 3.9 rebounds. In August 2011, Booker signed with Bnei Hasharon of the Israeli Basketball Premier League during the NBA lockout, but returned to the United States in October before ever playing a game for the club due to a quadriceps injury. He rejoined the Washington Wizards at the conclusion of the lockout. Booker's role increased in his second year, as he played around 25 minutes a game, contributing 8.4 points, 6.5 rebounds, and 1 steal in those minutes. He remained a consistent bench player for the next 2 seasons for the Wizards, putting up relatively similar stats. In July 2014, Booker signed with the Utah Jazz for $10 million over 2 years. He was a strong bench presence for the Jazz, averaging 6.5 points and 5.4 rebounds in his Jazz tenure, before signing with the Brooklyn Nets in July 2016. He enjoyed the best year of his NBA career in his first season with the Nets, averaging 10 points, 8 rebounds, and 1.1 steals per game. However, 18 games into his second season with the Nets, Booker was traded to the Philadelphia 76ers in exchange for Jahlil Okafor, Nick Stauskas, and a second-round pick. He appeared in 33 games for the Sixers, but his statistical output decreased significantly, and he was waived by the franchise in February 2018. Booker signed with the Indiana Pacers a month later, and finished the season with them. He appeared in 17 games, averaging 5.4 points in what ended up being the last time Booker played professional basketball. He was not acquired by an NBA team, and instead signed with the Shaanxi Brave Dragons of the Chinese Basketball Association in August 2018. However, he would not appear in a game for the Brave Dragons, returning to the United States in October to have foot surgery. He never signed another professional contract, and announced his retirement in April 2020. In 8 NBA seasons, Booker averaged 6.9 points and 5.5 rebounds. After his playing career, he and college roommate Jonah Bays founded Combine Academy, which has grown into a 60-acre international boarding sports and academic facility, offering elite camps and development pathways for high school and postgraduate athletes. He's also played in the East Coast Basketball League and the basketball tournament. Pick 24, Damian James. Damian James was selected with the 24th pick by the Atlanta Hawks after 4 years at Texas, with his draft rights later being traded to the New Jersey Nets for the rights to Jordan Crawford and Tibor Place. He appeared in 25 games his rookie year, averaging 4.4 points and 3.4 rebounds. James saw his role expand in his second season, playing around 24 minutes a game for the first 7 games of the year. Unfortunately, James would have to undergo surgery to replace a screw that was inserted to repair a broken foot, which ended his season early. He never found solid footing in the NBA again, only returning on a 10-day contract in January 2013 with the Nets, in which he appeared in 2 games, and with the San Antonio Spurs in April 2014, in which he appeared in 5 games. The San Antonio Spurs won the 2014 NBA championship, and James was awarded a ring. James' NBA career totaled 39 games, and he finished with averages of 3.8 points and 3.4 rebounds. He spent time with the D-League's Bakersfield Jam. Initially acquired by the Jam in November 2012, he had a standout first season with the Jam, earning a D-League All-Star appearance in February 2013, and being named to the All-NBA D-League second team as well as the D-League first team All-Defense at the end of the season. James bounced around various summer league rosters throughout his time with the Jam, trying to work his way back onto an NBA roster. In February 2014, James was traded to the Texas Legends, where he continued his attempts to get back onto an NBA roster, but was unsuccessful. In February 2015, he terminated his contract with the Legends, and bounced around various basketball leagues in the Philippines, France, and Australia before signing with the Cangrejeros de Santurce of Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior Nacional in January 2016. He had a standout first season in the BSN, winning League MVP and International Player of the Year while leading the league in scoring. James was also named an All-Star and made the All-Defensive team. He left after 1 year to go play in Venezuela, signing with Guaros de Lara. He led the club to the FIBA Intercontinental Cup in 2016, contributing 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists in the finals to help the team win. He bounced around leagues for the next few years, with stints in Mexico and Israel before returning to the BSN in December 2017, playing for 2 different clubs throughout the season. The club he started the season with, Capitanes de Arecibo, won the 2018 BSN Championship. James never formally announced his retirement, but he never signed another professional contract. Pick 25, Dominique Jones. Dominique Jones declared for the draft after 3 years at South Florida, where he was selected by the Memphis Grizzlies with the 25th overall pick, who subsequently traded his draft rights to the Dallas Mavericks for cash considerations. Jones bounced between the Mavericks and their D-League affiliate, the Texas Legends, before a foot injury ended his rookie season prematurely. He appeared in 18 games, averaging 2.3 points. The Dallas Mavericks won the 2011 NBA championship, and Jones received a ring as part of the championship team. Jones' best NBA season was his third, in which he played 29 games and averaged 4 points and 2.9 assists in 11.7 minutes per game. However, that ended up being the last year of his NBA career, as the Mavericks waived him in March 2013, and he never played in another regular season game. Jones' NBA career lasted 80 games, and he averaged 3.1 points per game. After being waived, he was acquired by the Springfield Armor of the D-League, where he spent the remainder of the year. Jones was part of the Milwaukee Bucks Summer League roster before signing with the Liaoning Flying Leopards of the Chinese Basketball Association in September 2013. October 2014 was the beginning of a very prolific pairing, as Jones signed with the Jilin Northeast Tigers. He led the CBA in assists for the 2014-15 season and signed with Osos de Manatí of Puerto Rico's Baloncesto Superior Nacional following the CBA season. He returned to the CBA in July 2015, but could not find a home, bouncing around multiple clubs, and even leaving the CBA for a season with Petrokimi Bandar Imam of the Iranian Super League in January 2018, winning the FIBA Asia Champions Cup with them. However, the aforementioned prolific pairing? Jones would reunite with Jilin in August 2018, and played with the club for the next 5 seasons, and he experienced immense individual and team success. In 2023, Jones was named the CBA International MVP, awarded to the top non-Chinese player, as he led the league in assists per game for the second time with 10.2, and also led the league in steals per game. After the CBA regular season, Jones signed with the Hong Kong Bulls of China's NBL, a separate basketball league that operates in the summer, in contrast to the CBA primarily operating in the winter, and is generally considered a tier below the CBA in terms of the level of competition. Jones led the Bulls to the 2024 NBL championship, where they won in 5 games. Jones had 50 points in the decisive Game 5, and for his efforts, he was named the 2024 NBL Finals MVP. Jones returned to Jilin for the 2024-2025 CBA season, where he would pace the CBA in assists for a third time, finishing with 10.4 and cementing his legacy as one of the CBA's all-time best international players. As of December 2025, Jones remains an active member of the Jilin Northeast Tigers. Pick 26, Quincy Pondexter. Quincy Pondexter was selected with the 26th overall pick by the Oklahoma City Thunder after a 4-year collegiate career at Washington. A few weeks after the draft, Pondexter was traded alongside Craig Brackens to the New Orleans Hornets in exchange for Cole Aldrich and Morris Peterson. He appeared in 66 games for the Hornets as a rookie, averaging 2.8 points in 11 minutes per game. In December 2011, one day before the start of the lockout-shortened season, Pondexter was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies for Grievous Vasquez. He carved out a consistent bench role on the Grizzlies, playing in 21 minutes a game in his 3rd season, contributing 6.4 points and 2.2 rebounds. In October 2013, Pondexter signed a 4-year, $14 million extension with the Grizzlies, keeping him in Memphis for the long haul. However, that's when the injury bug began to bite. Pondexter suffered a stress fracture in his foot in December 2013, an injury that kept him out the remainder of the season, limiting him to just 15 games. He returned healthy for the 2014-2015 season, but was traded back to New Orleans, now known as the Pelicans, in January 2015. He played the best basketball of his career during his 2nd stint with New Orleans, averaging 9 points and 3.1 rebounds in 45 games, which included 28 starts. Pondexter underwent arthroscopic knee surgery following the season in May 2015, and was expected to be able to resume basketball activities in November. However, after a series of setbacks, he had to undergo a 2nd knee surgery in January 2016 and was ruled out for the remainder of the season. Pondexter was expected to make a full recovery, but a full year passed, and Pondexter had yet to be cleared for basketball activities. In January 2017, he underwent a 3rd knee surgery, which officially ruled him out for the remainder of a 2nd consecutive season. However, basketball shortly became the least of his issues. Following the 3rd knee surgery, Pondexter fought for his life after developing a dangerous skin infection, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Bedridden in a hospital bed for over a month, Pondexter could do nothing but read comments on social media from Pelicans fans suggesting he doesn't care about basketball as he was fighting for his life. Thankfully, Pondexter was able to recover, and he was determined to resume his NBA career. Miraculously, he received medical clearance to resume his professional basketball workload and training regimen, but the Pelicans did not want to take any chances, trading him, a 2nd-round pick, and cash considerations to the Chicago Bulls for Ater Majak in September 2017. 1 month later, in the Bulls' 2017-2018 season opener, Pondexter would step on an NBA court for the first time in 2 years, completing an incredible comeback to the highest level of professional basketball. He averaged 2 points in 23 appearances for the Bulls before being waived in February 2018. He didn't sign with the team until the offseason, agreeing to a contract with the San Antonio Spurs in August 2018. In what would be his last year in the NBA, he played in 53 games for the Spurs, averaging 1.8 points. Pondexter never formally announced his retirement, but never signed another professional contract. In 7 NBA seasons, Pondexter finished with an average of 4.5 points per game, but he will always be remembered for the incredible resilience and determination he showed in overcoming a life-threatening infection and a 2-year absence to return to the league. Following the COVID-19 pandemic, Pondexter returned to his alma mater, Washington, as an assistant coach in May 2021. He announced a move to USC for the same role in May 2024 before coming back to Washington as an assistant coach for the 2025-2026 NCAA season. Pick 27, Jordan Crawford. Jordan Crawford declared for the NBA draft after 2 collegiate seasons, one each at Indiana and Xavier. The New Jersey Nets selected him with the 27th overall pick before trading him to the Atlanta Hawks for the rights to Damian James. Crawford could not carve out a role on the Hawks, averaging 4.2 points in 16 appearances, and he was traded in the middle of his rookie year. He, along with Maurice Evans and Mike Bibby, were sent to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Kirk Hinrich and Hilton Armstrong in February 2011. Crawford found immediate success with the Wizards, averaging 16.3 points, 3 rebounds, and 3.1 assists in 26 appearances to conclude his rookie year. In April 2011, Crawford recorded a stat line of 21 points, 10 rebounds, and 11 assists in a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers, becoming the second Wizards rookie that season to record a triple-double after John Wall had done it earlier in the year. Crawford enjoyed his best full season in 2011 to 2012, which unfortunately came at the expense of a Wall injury that elevated Crawford's role for a large part of the year. He finished with 14.7 points, a career high for a full season, to go along with 2.6 rebounds and 3 assists in 64 appearances, which included 32 starts. Crawford returned to a primary bench role the following season with Wall's return. However, he was traded to the Boston Celtics for Leandro Barbosa and Jason Collins in February 2013. Crawford remained a bench player on the Celtics, and his role was slightly smaller than it was on the Wizards, but he finished 7th and 6th Man of the Year voting in spite of the mid-season trade. Crawford became a full-time starter in his second season with the Celtics, averaging 13.7 points, 3.1 rebounds, and 5.7 assists in the first 39 games. Unfortunately for Crawford, another mid-season trade sent him to a team where his role yet again shrunk. He was sent to the Golden State Warriors as part of a 3-team trade in January 2014. Relegated to the bench, his minutes were cut in half, and his statistics decreased across the board in his 42 games with the Warriors. In the final game of the 2013-2014 regular season, Crawford scored a career-high 41 points. In September 2014, he signed with the Xinjiang Flying Tigers of the Chinese Basketball Association. However, he left the team in November, and was acquired by the D-League's Fort Wayne Mad Ants in March 2025. He was a part of the Dallas Mavericks Summer League roster, and was signed by the Chicago Bulls in September 2025. However, he was released before the start of the season. Crawford returned to the CBA, this time signing with the Tianjin Ronggang Gold Lions in November 2015. In January 2016, Crawford logged a standout performance, scoring a preposterous 72 points in a single game while also adding 16 rebounds. In 26 games with Tianjin, Crawford averaged a mind-boggling 43.1 points. That goes to show the talent gap between the NBA and other leagues around the world at this point in time. Crawford returned to the United States in October 2016 after being acquired by the D-League's Grand Rapids Drive. In March 2017, Crawford signed a 10-day contract with the New Orleans Pelicans, marking his return to the NBA for the first time since 2014, a nearly 3-year gap in between NBA games. Crawford was signed for the remainder of the season after a strong showing in his 10-day contract. In 19 appearances for the Pelicans, he averaged 14.1 points and 3 assists. In October 2017, Crawford was waived by the Pelicans after appearing in the first 2 games of the season for the team. Crawford didn't sign with another team until April 2018, when he re-signed with the Pelicans for the last 3 regular season games and playoffs. Those 5 games were his last ones in the NBA. Crawford finished his 6-year career averaging 12.2 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 3.1 assists. But one wonders what he could have accomplished had a franchise given him a true opportunity. Following his NBA career, Crawford bounced around leagues across the world, returning to the CBA on 2 other occasions, and also making stops in Israel, Russia, Germany, Puerto Rico, Mexico, North Macedonia, France, and Cyprus. He even returned to the G League in December 2021, signing with the Long Island Nets before being waived a month later, and reacquired 2 months later. His last professional contract came in 2023 with the Sichuan Blue Whales of the CBA. While Crawford has not signed another professional contract since, he has not retired from the game. and competed in the Big Three League in 2025. Pick 28, Greaves Vasquez. Greaves Vasquez was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and picked up the game of basketball in his hometown. He led the Venezuelan U15 national team to the FIBA South American Championship title in 2003, which put him on the radar for universities in the United States. He accepted a scholarship to Montrose Christian School in Maryland to continue preparing for a potential collegiate career. Vasquez remained in-state, committing to the University of Maryland. He played all 4 years, having a standout senior season, before entering the draft and being selected with the 28th overall pick by the Memphis Grizzlies. Vasquez carved out a small bench role during his rookie year, appearing in 70 games and averaging 3.6 points and 2.2 assists in around 12 minutes a game. However, Vasquez's role expanded during the 2011 playoffs, and he played a part in the 8-seeded Grizzlies upsetting the top-seeded San Antonio Spurs in the first round, with Vasquez scoring 11 points in the clinching Game 6. The Grizzlies would go on to lose to the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round. In December 2011, one day before the start of the lockout-shortened season, Vasquez was traded to the New Orleans Hornets for Quincy Pondexter. He appeared in every game for the Hornets during the lockout-shortened season, and also made 26 starts. Vasquez averaged 8.9 points, 2.6 rebounds, and 5.4 assists, and was named the team's starting point guard the following season. He enjoyed a career-best season in 2012 to 2013 as he finished with averages of 13.9 points, 4.3 rebounds, and 9 assists. Vasquez led the league in total assists with 704, finished second in the NBA Most Improved Player Award voting, and was even named the NBA's Western Conference Player of the Week at the end of December. Despite the career year, Vasquez was traded to the Sacramento Kings in a 3-team deal in July 2013. After starting the first 18 games of the year for the Kings, he was traded again, this time to the Toronto Raptors alongside Patrick Patterson, John Salmons and Chuck Hayes in exchange for Rudy Gay, Quincy Acey and Aaron Gray. Vasquez was relegated to a bench role on the Raptors, but he was not fazed by the demotion, working his way into Sixth Man of the Year conversations throughout the season. He was rewarded with a 2-year, $13 million contract extension with the Raptors, and appeared in all 82 games the ensuing season. In June 2015, Vasquez was traded to the Milwaukee Bucks in exchange for the draft rights to Norman Powell and a protected first-round pick. He appeared in 23 games for the Bucks, averaging 5.7 points and 4 assists, before undergoing surgery in December 2015 to remove a bone spur and loose bodies from his ankle, ending his only season with the Bucks early. Vasquez signed with the Brooklyn Nets in July 2016, but was waived in November after appearing in just 3 games for the franchise. Those 3 games would be the last he would play in the NBA. Vasquez never formally announced his retirement, but effectively retired from the game after saying he cannot walk, jog, or run correctly, due to numerous ankle injuries he suffered throughout his playing career. He finished his NBA career averaging 9 points, 2.5 rebounds, and 4.8 assists across 7 seasons. He was also a member of Venezuela's national basketball team. Vasquez tried his hand at coaching following his playing career, and was named the associate head coach for the Pelicans G League affiliate Erie Bayhawks in August 2019. He left the position in 2021 to pursue a career in broadcasting, and worked for the Washington Wizards during the 2024 to 2025 season to provide pre- and post-game analysis and Spanish-language commentary. Vasquez has not closed a potential return to coaching, expressing interest in joining Buzz Williams' staff at his alma mater Maryland. Pick 29, Daniel Orton. The 5th and final Kentucky Wildcat taken in this draft, Daniel Orton spent 1 season as a reserve at Kentucky before declaring for the draft. He was taken with the 29th overall pick by the Orlando Magic. Orton was viewed as a developmental project, and was assigned to the D-League's New Mexico Thunderbirds in December 2010. Unfortunately, he would suffer a season-ending knee injury in his second appearance with the Thunderbirds, concluding his true rookie season before ever suiting up in a game for the Magic. Orton recovered from injury in January 2012, but was unable to earn a consistent role in the rotation in his redshirt rookie season, appearing in just 16 games while averaging 2.8 points and 2.4 rebounds in around 12 minutes per game. In August 2012, Orton signed with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He was released in October, but was re-signed a few days later, and spent most of the season on assignment with the Thunder's D-League affiliate Tulsa 66ers. He averaged 2.5 points and 2 rebounds in 13 games with the Thunder before being waived in October 2013, and picked up by the Philadelphia 76ers a few days later. The 2013 to 2014 season with the Sixers would end up being Orton's last in the NBA, and while he bumped his averages up to 3 points and 2.8 rebounds in 22 appearances, it was not enough to stick on a roster. He was waived by the Sixers in January 2014, and never appeared in an NBA game again. Orton averaged 2.8 points and 2.5 rebounds in 51 games throughout his NBA career. He bounced around professional leagues across the world, playing in China, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Greece, Japan, Taiwan, Turkey, and Lebanon. His most recent professional contract came with the Taoyuan Leopards of Taiwan's T1 League in November 2021, but his contract would be terminated after just a month with the team. Orton has not fully retired from the game, competing in the basketball tournament in 2024 with La Familia Kentucky. Following his professional career, Orton has opened a youth basketball program in Lexington, Kentucky called Culture Ball Club. Pick 30, Lazar Hayward. Lazar Hayward was drafted 30th overall by the Washington Wizards after 4 years at Marquette. However, his draft rights were shortly after traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves for future considerations. Hayward appeared in 42 games in his rookie season, averaging 3.8 points in 10 minutes per game. In December 2011, before the start of the lockout-shortened season, Hayward was traded to the Oklahoma City Thunder for Robert Layden and 2 second-round picks. He averaged 1.4 points in 26 games with the Thunder, bouncing between their active roster and their D-League affiliate, Tulsa 66ers. In October 2012, Hayward was a part of the trade that sent James Harden to the Houston Rockets, but was waived by the Rockets immediately after the trade. In December 2012, Hayward returned to the Timberwolves on a 10-day contract. He signed a second 10-day contract before the Timberwolves elected not to retain him for the rest of the season. He appeared in 4 games in his second stint with the Timberwolves, averaging 2.5 points. Those 4 games would be his last in the NBA, and Hayward finished his career averaging 2.9 points in 72 games. Hayward was acquired by the D-League's Los Angeles Defenders after his 10-day contract with the Timberwolves expired, but was waived in April 2013 after an injury. He signed with the New Orleans Pelicans in the offseason, but was waived before the start of the year. There is no record of Hayward on any professional roster anywhere in the world for 2 years after being waived by the Pelicans, and it was fair to assume his career was over. However, he would be reacquired by the Defenders in January 2016. In November 2016, Hayward was acquired by the Long Island Nets via the G-League expansion draft, but was waived after 20 games. He signed with Guaros de Lara of Venezuela's Superliga Profesional de Baloncesto in February 2017, helping Guaros win its first league championship. Hayward quietly stepped away from basketball and jumped into the fashion industry following his playing career. He founded a clothing brand in 2020 called Nobel, which remains his primary focus as of December 2025.